Increasing the Israelites' affliction left Pharaoh smugly thinking he had won the war for his slaves. Little did he know that Moses and Aaron were about to return with a power like he'd never seen. And as Moses and Aaron burst into his court with an opening salvo of miracles, it very quickly becomes clear that this war was only just beginning. Moses' rod turns into a snake in front of Pharaoh, and the Hebrew word for snake here is actually a dragon, so it might have even been something more terrifying and impressive than it reads in English. The magicians claim to hold their own for a miracle or two, but they are very quickly shown up for the charlatans that they are. In reality, this is no contest at all. Merely an exhibition of God's wonders for all the world to see and to fear. God's plan is to bring Pharaoh to his knees and to reveal the Egyptian gods for what they truly are. False inventions of man, no more powerful than the people that worship them. And this purpose of the plagues is revealed in a quote that's worth committing to memory. "And in very deed for this cause have I raised thee up, for to show in thee my power, and that my name may be declared throughout all the earth." Pharaoh's only defense throughout the plagues is trickery and lies, which is typical of the snake-tongued man that he is. He stubbornly refuses to bend to God's will, hardening his heart over and over again as God had promised and prophesied, until his empire has essentially crumbled into nothing. Over the course of a year, 10 plagues devastate every aspect of the Egyptian economy, from their water source to their food, from their animals to their health. Each plague also targets a different area of Egyptian life and consequently a different Egyptian god, starting with Hapi, the god of the Nile, and ending with the god king himself when Pharaoh's firstborn son dies. Through all of this, Moses echoes God's words, "Let my people go, that they may serve me." God is not setting his people free, he is changing their allegiance. Instead of being slaves to Pharaoh, they would be slaves to God. We end this section with the plague of darkness, after which Pharaoh threatened Moses with death if he ever saw his face again. Little did Pharaoh know that he would be the one to die before he saw Moses again.
There are so many gems hidden in the plagues. Unfortunately, the notes couldn't venture into a verse-by-verse study of the plague section. But the good news is that leaves plenty of room for you to explore. We'll give you two of our favourites. Firstly, the similarities between the destruction of Egypt, Babylon and Rome. There are so many. Secondly, when the magicians admitted that the third plague was a miracle from God, they called it the finger of God. Have a look at who else was given the authority to use the finger of God.
Maybe the most challenging of all the questions in Exodus is the question of who hardened Pharaoh's heart. Why did God punish Pharaoh if it was God that hardened his heart? If you're finding it too tricky, have a read of pages 129 to 132 of your book.
There are two tables that would be useful to have in your Bible from this section. The first one summarizes the pattern of the plagues and demonstrates how it repeats itself in groups of threes. The second one is a comparison of Babylon, Egypt and Rome that we referred to earlier. You could do these on an insert or in the back of your Bible.
Sometimes, the process of salvation can appear rather humdrum and methodical. We learn first principles, confess our faith, get baptized, become a member of the ecclesia, but in reality it is full of great wonders. Our salvation through the life, crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus Christ is the most astonishing miracle that the world has ever seen. Don't forget that when you're reading about these amazing miracles in Exodus.
Pharaoh was stubbornly looking the other way and ignoring God's power. Think of someone you're close to who is refusing to see God's hand at work in their life. Pray that God will reveal his wonders to them and show them how much greater he is than the false gods of this life.